what's up Phantom Fam? How is everyone doing? Now today is a special video for me because I finally got to ride the new Royal Enfield Interceptor 650 Twin, and yes, I've never actually ridden a single Royal Enfield on this channel. So if you want a honest review from a non-Royal Enfield owner, then stay tuned for this video. Let's roll the intro. So welcome back guys. As always, I have my notes which I have compared after riding the bike for the duration, and I really want to give a shout out to Mr. Vishal, who is the manager at Dhone Automobiles. Now if you go there, ask for Mr. Vishal and he will arrange the test ride plus all the details for the Interceptor, for the Royal Enfield 650 Twins, whichever one you're interested. Now I got to ride the Interceptor 650, not the Continental GT 650. So my review is specifically for this. Also Royal Enfield, if you're watching this video, please hook me up with the Interceptor or the GT for a longer ride, and I would love to do a longer review or even go touring on it. Now let's get into it. Now the design is very classic 1960s Royal Enfield Interceptor itself. It's a timeless design, I guess, and the bike, the build quality and everything is really well. I think Royal Enfield has gone up several notches, and I'm not saying this because you guys know I ride a KTM. I ride mostly single cylinder bikes, and I can say I've really come back quite impressed. Now as for the chassis, it's a twin cradle tubular steel frame designed from scratch by Harris Performance in the United States. I guess you can see where the origin of this bike is. The new bike, this is an important product for Royal Enfield, and you know, even when they had launched the Himalayan, it was quite a different direction they were going in. So I guess they really took the feedback from everywhere, and including the 350s, the owners and everything else, and what do the Royal Enfield owners look forward to, and I guess they have addressed that in this. Now the chassis itself, they said, has been tested for thousands of hours. While riding, I did not feel any sort of vibrations creep in from anywhere, so big thumbs up to Royal Enfield for that. And I guess the cliched, the jokes and the vibrator, everything can be now thrown out, at least for the 650s. Okay, so I'm going to take a test ride of the new Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. I wanted the Continental GT, but this is the one they have right now. Wrong side. Very good. So let's see how it is. It's going to be my first impressions. In fact, this is the first Royal Enfield from the new batches that I'm ever going to be riding. So let's see how it goes. It's heavy for sure.
ब्रेकिंग आणि काय फक्त आता इथनं जास्तपर्यंत इथपर्यंत तुम्ही स्लो घ्या जरा.
चालेल.
जेव्हा मोकळा रोड मिळेल तेव्हा तुम्ही पळू.
चालेल काय टेन्शन
नाही. की अचानक कोण पण मध्ये येतं तर
हो, ते तर आहे. ते आपल्या पुण्याचं वन डाऊन आणि मग
तू पण घाल एवढं प्रोफेशनल राहिलं.
वन डाऊन. चला.
यावरती रायडर महिन्यामध्ये होता का तुम्ही?
अच्छा.
व्हायब्रेशन, ब्रेकिंग, मॅन्युअरिंग
बरोबर. हो. ड्यूक 250 है. ड्यूक ड्यूक हाँ 250. गियर पोझिशन इंडिकेटर नाही ना याला. एकदा चालायला लागली की काय वाटत नाही वेट.
तुम्हाला म्हणून मी बोलला तुम्ही मॅन्युअरिंग चेक करा सिटीमध्ये.
बरोबर.
KTM 390 पेक्षा पण बेटर आहे.
हो. As for the wheelbase, it's 1400 mm with a 804 mm of seat height, which is comfortable. I'm 5'7" and I was able to put both my feet down, so no problems as such there. It's got 174 mm of ground clearance, which is good for even passing the big potholes or the speed breakers that the municipality can throw at us sometimes out of surprises. Now it's got a 37.5 degrees of steering angle, so which makes it, and I rode it in a combination of city traffic with mild curves, and I can tell you it's quite easy to maneuver in the city traffic, but you have to get around the weight. It's 202 kilos dry, so with fuel you can see when it's idle and when you're moving it around in the parking, you can definitely feel the weight of it. But once you're moving, there's no such problem to be had. So it's comfortable for city and highway riding, I would say. Honestly, that's my feedback. Coming back to those interested in touring, it's got a fuel capacity of 13.7 liters. I do not know how that will hold up in real world riding condition, but that's pretty much close to what my Duke also has. So I think it's fine for maybe if sub 500 kilometer ride with maybe 1 or 2 stops. As for the suspension, now it's a 41 mm forks in the front with a 110 mm travel, and at the rear it's got those twin gas charged shocks, which are 5-stage preload adjustable. So depending on if you're touring, if you're carrying extra weight with your passenger, you can make those fine-tune changes, which is pretty fantastic. Let's get to the most important part now, the engine. Okay, so it's a 4-stroke single overhead cam unit, which is air and oil cooled. No liquid cooling here, so they sort of save cost on the radiator. Also, Mr. Vishal was quite frank in telling me that the maintenance cost of Royal Enfield, which is I think every 6 months or the number of kilometers, will be much lower because of this fact that it does not have a radiator. They don't have to deal with a radiator, which bumps up the service cost but quite a lot. It's a 648cc parallel twin engine, produces 47 bhp of power at 7,250 rpm, which is pretty good. 52 newton meters of torque at 5,250 rpm. You can see I'm taking some of these steep climbs up the hill, and I had no problem. I did not need to downshift or anything like that. So the power delivery is very linear. Well done again by Royal Enfield. It's got a 6-speed gearbox, a Bosch sourced fuel injection system, and it's also got a slipper clutch and assist, which is pretty good in terms of, I think, specs as far as any bike goes on the Indian roads. For the tires, now it's got Pirelli Phantom Sport tires, which they say are specially made for the Royal Enfield. So at the front they have a 100 by 90 18-inch, and at the rear they've got 130 by 70 again 18-inch tires. These are on aluminium spoked alloy wheels, which look classic and continue the whole design language of this motorcycle. For brakes, you have got at the front, you got Vibray brakes, which are Brembo sourced. This is whatever the specs are covered. I hope this saves some time for you if you're researching on this motorcycle. You can hear the exhaust note, which I will play now, or if I have not already played it in the beginning. Now that's it guys for this video. If you liked it, make sure you hit the like button, you subscribe, you hit the bell notification so that you get the new videos delivered to you and you do not miss it out. I will be doing more rides on this bike, so watch out for that, and I will catch you in the next one. Phantom Fam, Phantom Rides out.
अरे हे काढलं तसं का टेन्शन होतं आपलं.